We have been through a lot in this game over the past 5 years. Exclusive events or non-exclusive events, about 250 cars that are now in the game, awesome new locations to drive to. But it does not matter whether you spend money on the game or not, this is something that affects every player irrespective of the status and the platform. Yes, I am talking about elite events, the C to S class elite event. Let's face it, we are already aware of the fundamentals on which economy of this game runs, but here we gonna debunk that these elites events are scam and Gameloft way to milk money out of your pocket. But first, I need you to think in your mind, why did you start playing Asphalt 9 Legends at the first place? Maybe you were playing Asphalt 8 and you were hyped for A9 too. Maybe A9 is the first game that introduced you to Asphalt Saga. Whatever this may be, but I'm pretty sure you started out to play this game with the initiative to play for fun and chill in your free time, and that's what we all were before the first stage called the Breakthrough happened. In 2018, this game was released. The first Legend Pass was introduced in the form of Porsche Taycan Turbo S. This divided the player base into two categories. One were those who were spending money on the game, and second were those who were staying free to play. Whatever their reason may be, but you start to see that the difference in between achievements of the player base widens. From Yesco Drive Syndicate to Devil Drive Syndicate, and from all the special events that were introduced, cars are added in these so-called Elite Cup. Now some of them are fairly ranked and rightfully placed, but it is not the case with all of them. But for a moment, I need your attention here. If I ask you today to name me any 5 cars that gonna get any player to 2000 rating in a multiplayer series, I'm pretty sure that all of you will answer top 5 to 7 cars like Devil 16, Hennessy Venom F5, SSC Tuatara, Koenigsegg Yesco, Koenigsegg Regera, Bugatti Bolide, with a few exceptions that will also include Tryon Nemesis, Bugatti LVN, and Chiron, and so on. But when you look at the S-Class Elite Cup, you have Hennessy Venom F5, Bugatti Bolide, Koenigsegg Yamera, Devil 16, Koenigsegg CC850. Why is all this unfair ranking happening? Well, because they are playing with our psychology into getting us thinking that, hey, this car costs $5,000 or so dollars. If you get it now, you will have a superior advantage over global leaderboards and your peers. It is in our DNA that our survival depends upon having competitive advantage over our peers. What do you think happens when you pass the finish line first with a swarm of cars on your tail in Ghost Slipstream? You have the competitive advantage over them, so they start to push you towards the next phase, which is exclusive events. At this point, we all are aware of just how much exclusive event that we had, but there was this facade of pushing players towards spending in the game by giving them competitive disadvantage, as well as to grab more money from players who were already spending money on the game, because they know that they will keep coming back to have this competitive advantage. How do they do it? Well, by concealing just how much worthless the in-game currency is and how much real money is being spent in order to get them. We had tokens and credit in the game. Then Clash credits and Clash tokens were introduced, which was totally baseless, because whatever that was in the Clash store could be introduced with this tokens and credit currency. But no. They introduced not only a second currency but also a third currency, which was seasonal tokens, which got removed pretty soon, but I have made a separate video on that too. You can check it in the top right corner of your screen. But what they did was that they severely nerfed the progression for players unless they pay to ramp it up again. If not, they would specifically have no way out from this loophole from 0 to something and back to 0 again, because they were giving you indication that if you want to keep progressing in this game, you cannot accumulate just one currency in the game. Rather, you have to be wealthy in the term of every currency that is in the game. And this whole Legend Pass, Daily Event Pass, Multiplayer Pass, along with its new Overclock Pass, are also the bonding agents of the same lineup. You have the Drive Syndicate happening after every year and sometime twice in a year. And despite just how much grinding they are, they midway start to push you towards in-app purchases if you want to complete any event. But let's just stop here. Let's say you have the grind of your life and do get a car like Venom F5, Yesco, or any other potent car on its debut, but on the next Drive Syndicate or possibly the special event that is happening around the anniversary season of the game, it is likely to happen that whatever car you have gained from your previous grind will be outdated, because look, this new car is the spotlight of the game now. And Gameloft slap you on the face that whatever you have earned previously either by paying or grinding is now outdated. In these elite events also, you will be downgraded even though you may have the OP advantage over everyone else outside these events. Take this example. In the last European season, Koenigsegg CCXR kicked out SSC Tuatara out of S-Class Elite event. You yourselves know the difference in between these two cars. Okay, congratulations to everyone who got CCXR at that time, but boom, in the next Drive Syndicate, Koenigsegg CC850 was introduced that kicked out CCXR out of Elite event. In what period? Estimated like month or so, and these cups happen at a distance of 1 month. But cars like Centuriati had Draft Syndicate. Did it really need that? And yet, somehow it managed to keep getting worse, because you had the next stage, which is reward randomization. So far, we have discussed the exclusive events and Draft Syndicate, but it is a sheer reward randomization that sometimes cause your head spinning. Because in these events and Draft Syndicates or so, things are not right in front of you. You will find half of these resources by grinding in the event, even if you have the OP advantage over your peers. You might be able to complete the event 100%, but the rest of the reward will be buried in the special offers and bundle. If you happen to find the right deal, you may get lucky. Otherwise, you may have spent recklessly, and if you are unaware of the tactics of how to find the right offer at the right place, sometimes you ended up having 0.5% advantage over other players, and you may have spent maybe like $3,000 on a car, but they might beat you with a free car they own. Like in 2020, Bugatti LVN was released, and it was such an exclusive event that LVN was the most expensive car of its time, costing nearly $5,000 in the event. But you will only get 3-star car at that event, which is just half of its potential, and the potential of that car is, mind you, not much. But I came across to one of the YouTube comments that was saying that besides spending $5,000 on LVN to get it at 3-star from the event, it costed syndicate coins nearly to a worth of another $5,000 to buy 16 epics to gold the car. If you happen to max it, which you will eventually have to do because after spending first $5,000, you will still be at disadvantage over others. So no peers validation toward you, and no player will bow before you or scared of you whenever you will enter a multiplayer lobby. And you will see this happening everywhere. I only pointed out the S-Class Elite because this is where whales compete with each other. In this whole competition of the whales, you as free player are the pawns and the winning thrill that company uses to make the whales spend more and more in order to keep this dopamine rush going on and on. You will see countless examples throughout that cars are being pushed out from the Elite Cups even though they are not invalidated too much. Take the removal of Arenara Sarah 33 from C-Class Elite. It got removed by a car that is higher at rank only, but it didn't have the stat to compete with it. In B-Class Elite, Huera R is sitting at the top of F1 LM, when we all know how poor Huera R is in drifting. You can never ignore the Koenigsegg Jesko. It was introduced in 2019, and even after like 5 years, it has its own glory. But now it is not the thing that provide monetary gain to Gameloft, so it got pushed down by not so great cars like Zenvo Aurora. And with all these practices, they will release a trash car and force you to spend money. The free player will boycott that car and you will spend money in order to win, and it will give you a very minute advantage over others. Now you can say that, of course, I will be at advantage, but it is not like it would be at the scale of sky and ground. Given the fact that whatever car that you spend your money on in order to get it will come back 6 months or so later to free-to-play players. Many players today have max or gold Jesko. They also have the LVN. So someday any free-to-play player will be getting the same car free of cost that you got today by spending real money. It does not happen with every car, but not every car worth the same attention that you should have to empty your wallet on it. So with these few rewards in the Elite Cup, they just push you towards spending on cars like Zenvo Aurora. Why? Because it will be in the future S-Class Elite event, where it does not really belong, and soon it will be replaced by any other car. Like I said, they just play every year or 6 months or so with your psychology by creating these events and special offers to create a sense of urgency that you're gonna miss out these huge deals, and also make flashy in-game pop-ups for them. And you see timers counting backwards everywhere. Season tokens are the worst example of this practice. At the end of every season, they set up to 0 while you have to spend money in order to collect them in bulk, so you will be spending more than you will ever need to and still won't have much clue what you're gonna get out of it. They create this sense of urgency and stress like either you use them or you lose them. But these are the fundamental on which the game is designed to give revenue to the company. While we cannot control the event to become cheap and highly rewarding, but we can control is our behavior toward these so-called urgencies. To conclude all this, I would like to say that be aware of who is causing you what type of damage. Because at the end of the day, we all love cars and we don't hate the game. We hate the unfair practices that are in the game. Maintain healthy habits and enjoy the game, because in the end, all that matters is really you and your mental health. If you want to see what happened to the season tokens, you can check out this video next.